How's it going, y'all? Today, we're going to be taking a look at GM Nightlight. This is a Gary's Mod map port available for download on mod.io for Bonelab, and it was ported over by the user JiggyMan27. Now, up to this point, I don't believe we've played any of JiggyMan's maps, but notably, looking at his page, he has produced a number of ports and custom maps that have become quite popular on mod.io. So we were bound to come across one of his maps. Now this, of course, simply being a port of a map that is already well known on Gary's mod, but nonetheless I'm very excited to see this map and see what it has to offer in Bonelab for us. And I see the doors here actually work. I'm getting a little bit of lag, so what I'll do is I'll see if I can fix up the performance a little bit so that this will be a more enjoyable experience for us. So just give me a moment. Hopefully that should do it for us. It seems I'm already getting better performance. Let's go ahead and start in this little strip mall here. This is pretty cozy. June 2029. Interesting. So I have seen playthroughs of this map before. That doesn't seem very sanitary to be putting baked goods on the bottom. Right on the floor. So I have seen playthroughs of this map before, but not for literal years. And so this will be interesting because it already seems that there is some lore, at the very least tied to the map. There is a setting. We know now that this map doesn't take place any sooner than June of 2029 at 2:12 a.m. on whatever day it is, which, according to this map, unless there's something significant about June 25th, would be today, seeing as it was marked in red. Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's look and see if there's anything else in the strip mall for us first. Oh my goodness. Now this looks like, it seems this actually is a map that JiggyMan had done before, and this was a repost of it, based on the description. Now admittedly, wow, that is cozy. Look at that. Right off the bat, did we find our thumbnail? That's so cool. As I was saying, JiggyMan's done this map before, and this is a repost. So apparently there are some things that are fixed. Now there's not much to be said about the map at all in the description. I see the flashlight works fantastic on this map. This is good news. Oh, don't like the sharp shadows. Let me also adjust my headset here. Oh my goodness, is that flashlight reflections in the glass? Wow. I don't know if I've really seen that before yet. And it is reflecting. That's amazing. Such a small little note, but so interesting. That's cool. Okay, so that's locked. Wow, I could set up shop in here and just hang out all night. And if I need something, I go across the street and I brave the darkness to go to the Dollar Tree. Imagine that. You just hang out here, reading or playing video games, and you get a little hungry. Maybe you're having a LAN party in here with 1 or 2 friends. And the Dollar Tree, you know, is a 24/7. just in this particular town, so you have to draw lots to see who's going to brave the darkness, cross the street over into the Dollar Tree. The lights are always on, but you never see any cars parked out front. Oh, this is going to be a fun map. Like I said, it's been years since I've seen anyone play this map. So I'm very excited to look at it because I know next to nothing about this map. And that's a fake door. Oh, I just love... Is that a tower? Is that a water tower right there? Interesting. I like the church as well, but I'm going to start... Oh, this is going to be hard. Oh, and Jiggy tags his own name. I dig it. What I'm wondering is if there's going to be a better way to organize myself on this map. I don't know if we're in the middle of the map, or if we're... Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know if we were in the middle and we need to just spread out, or what the best place to go. I mean, I guess I was on the narrative with the Dollar General. Or Dollar Tree. I'll brave the darkness. Try sticking to the pattern of the sodium vapor lamps. Now, obviously, it just looks like a facade. But I have to walk up to it and touch it at least. Maybe that was the dare. Maybe my friend dared me that I was too chicken to run outside and touch the Dollar Tree and come back. I like that story. Right next to a voodoo shop, too. Yeah. But it looks so warm and inviting, like I could go in there, get a loaf of Wonder Bread, some Jiffy. Clips Classic Cuts. This seems like the kind of town that's just always nighttime. Now, there is a daytime variant of this map, but y'all know me. If there's a nighttime version, we're going to play that one. This is the kind of town that I would love to just wander around with a flashlight by myself or with a friend. Like, look at this. I feel like I can almost tap into actual childhood memories that I have of doing just that. Oddly enough, when I think back to my teenage days, I remember doing a lot of stuff like this with my group of friends from middle school and early in high school. Someone dropped their flashlight. I swear I remember doing stuff like that. And I know I did a fair amount of urbex with those friends. And I know that it was always around Halloween because my friends and I all loved spooky stuff. We loved cosplay, and so Halloween was like our group's favorite holiday. And there are parts of my town that kind of feel like this. And so we would often wander around the quieter parts of town with flashlights and see who could creep the others out faster. Did I find the Ted shed? This is the perfect moment for the door to slam shut behind me. Okay. But that's a fun view right there. I noted in my last couple videos that I'm a 3D modeler in training, and I've come to really love doing environmental art, and one of the things that I'm still trying to learn to do better is to tell a story through little props and through texture, you know. And so this is really inspiring to me because I feel like now that I'm understanding what it takes to model, I have a deeper appreciation for it. thinking back to those memories with my friends. I used to go over to my childhood friend's house, and he lived in an area that didn't have a lot of lights, a lot of street lights. And what they did have were orange sodium vapor lamps. And I'd go over to his house, spend the night, and his parents weren't very strict. They were strict, but they weren't very strict too much about staying out late in the neighborhood. They didn't want us going anywhere else. And my parents are pretty strict, so we didn't often... Anytime he came over to my house, we didn't often go too far away from my house. But my buddy lived in a pretty cool neighborhood, and it was especially interesting at night. So when I'd go over there, I kind of went into the mindset of ask for forgiveness later. And we'd wander around with flashlights and walk the trails around his neighborhood, and sometimes we'd turn the flashlights off. And it was some of my favorite moments. So I guess this looks like this is a boundary of the map, so we'll just start over here and slowly work that way. So I also have to check and make sure my OBS is still going. After last video, I can never be too sure. Ooh. I love that the sounds are actually working with the doors, too. I can tell Jiggy Man is a man serious about his craft, which excites me because it makes me want to look at more maps, and he does actually have some cool maps that I'm excited about. This is a big room. Wow. I love this. The ceiling fan's a little bit low, but that's about the height that the one in my childhood bedroom was. I could never get changed in the middle of my room in front of my dresser, because if I went up to put my shirt, my shirt on, my hands would get slapped by the fan, so I always had to go change in the corner. So this is not far off. And my bedroom was very narrow. It was much narrower than this. Freaking... it's like a diner-grade drip coffee machine in the kitchen. Can never be too sure. Is there a door here? Yeah. I don't know if it's awesome that there are sounds to the doors, or if it makes it even more unnerving, because it means that things are actually alive in this map. That it's not just a facade, but that there's interactability. Because so far, this may be, in my immediate memory, this may be the first map that we've explored that actually has functioning doors. Houses like this are so funny. I grew up in an area where you have a lot of these little old neighborhoods of houses that were built in the 20s and 30s, and they never get repainted, and they always have bars on the they always have bars on the windows, and sometimes I wonder if anyone actually lives in them. But there are lights on, and there's always a plethora of vehicles out front. Another fake door. Nice van, though. And for being, what did it say, 2029? There are a lot of older vehicles. I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I'm gonna crawl on top of this car here. Just want to see if there's anything in the backyard. No. Okay. Me casually jumping on a neighbor's car. I love how good the flashlight works on this map. This is already shaping up to be one of my favorite maps. Broken texture on that. See, this is my favorite type of map. It feels alive. It feels like I'm awake and no one else is. It feels like there are people here, but I'm the only one that's awake. Or it's like a Twilight episode. I'm the only one still left in the town. A part of me wants to stay in the light of the street lamps so that I can be kept away from the darkness, but at the same time, I want to avoid the light for fear of what might see me. This is just an extension of whatever that one building was, yeah. Some kind of town hall, maybe? So we'll continue on over there. I see the church is fully modeled, which I'll be excited to get into. Yeah, it's like everyone was in the middle of just living, and then by the time that 9:30 p.m. rolled around, they just went home. It's like this is just kind of Truman showed. Bad T-bone collision. Police officer was on the scene. 9:30 rolls around. See you tomorrow. We'll deal with this in the morning. Ooh, a bookstore. Huh, that's weird. It's the kind of place that would be turned into some kind of boutique. But in order to be a boutique, you need to have a door and maybe a couple windows. It wouldn't hurt. I do like a good bookstore. I've become quite an avid reader recently. Ooh. Now this place, I'm not gonna lie, this place feels more appropriate to be like a lush boutique store rather than a bookstore. Of course they would paint it a bunch of pastel colors, but that bloom is strong. I know I can turn it down. Just haven't found a reason to yet. Oh man, this would be... Where's my flashlight? Here it is. This place right here would be like where my friends and I would sit down around a tree and just hang out and just take in the darkness and the sounds of the crickets and the cicadas. This would be the kind of place we would spend hours just sitting, possibly having bought a Little Caesars pizza for $5, a couple liters of soda, and just hang out. What? And the story unfolds. The military was here. What's up with that? Interesting. Very strange. That almost reminds me, there was this book that I read a couple months ago called Polybius. It's fairly new, by a gentleman by the name of Colin Armstrong, I believe his name was. And it takes place in the 80s in this small town in Northern California, and it's based off of the Polybius urban legend from the, what was the CIA operation? All the different experiments they were supposedly, and maybe not so supposedly, pulling and testing on civilians. But it was a part of a CIA operation, and one of the urban legends was around testing psychological warfare via implanting rage, bringing out rage and false memories through a video game. MK Ultra, that's what it was called, Operation MK Ultra. And so the book is entirely about this video game Polybius. And while it's not Colin's original idea, the video game I mean, what he did do was a pretty original story. And admittedly, the book is a little bit slow, but I think it was a fun read, and this town feels somewhat like the town that he describes in the book. Well, let's go inside. Ooh, that sound. The low hum. These are some really big church pews. If you were smart about your space, you could fit like twice as many people in here. Well, now that we're all here, seeing where we are in the town, I think it's time we start talking about Job. A total shift in atmosphere. This is like a church clerk's office. There's little tiny desks with tiny chairs. 2:12 a.m. still hasn't changed. It's just a closet. Well, now we've seen this part of the map. Why don't we go to the back area and then work that way? Is that door real? Probably not. No. That is a water tower. Okay. And it's open. A little tiny farm right here. One of my favorite things during my urbex experiences in middle school and high school was shining my flashlight at massive objects in the dark and seeing just how far my flashlight could reach. Looked like there was someone standing somewhere in between some bushes over there. There would definitely come a point... Oh, there's a CVS as well. There would definitely come a point while I'm exploring. Let me in. Let me in. Oh. What is this place? There definitely come a point while I was exploring an area with my friends where I'd wonder if we've been too loud and if people would find us and call the cops on us, because at the end of the day, what do we know about teenagers? Society hates them. Which I think is quite ironic, seeing as everyone who's an adult has been a teenager. It's kind of one of the requirements of being human is... And it's one of the great ironies of humanity is we naturally tend to dislike those younger than us. We don't value them as much as we do people our own age or people older. Or even to say we don't value anyone that's not our age. Old people we often see as obsolete, young people we see as inexperienced and immature, and we tend to write people off. Which I think is quite strange considering we've all been young and we will too eventually be old. And coming to that realization has made me much more desirous to speak with people older than me and to get to know the young people around me, or younger. To be fair, I'm in my mid-20s. But I've sought to have a deeper relationship with my grandmothers. I'm more desirous to understand the people around me that have experienced more than I have. Looks like there's more beyond that row of bushes. Is there anything else around here? No. Looks like there's some buildings behind there. Let's go take a look. Can I get through the back? No. I have to go all the way around. Is there even an opening? This light is emitting a blue light. Maybe I can't get up over behind there. I guess not. Oh, that's open. Oh. What in the world? The curse of the floating TV. Oh, that's gotta look creepy from outside, seeing a single flashlight shining through. Imagine we were just there, looking at this house and just seeing a light flicker at us. That would be horrifying. Strange stairs. They work well enough. Oh. Some squatters definitely lived here. Got everything they need. Chocolate sauce, green beans, ranch dressing and barbecue sauce, relish. Everything a growing hermit needs. Wow, that's an odd way to put a chandelier in place, for it to be so high up the main living space. Oh, and there's blood in here. And a floating chair. I'll just hop down. I've always hated how a flashlight dims the further it goes, making it harder to see. Oof. I can just feel the darkness grabbing at me. No access to the cellar. Nothing in the backyard. But this would be such an awesome yard to have. I swear it looks like an outline of some buildings just beyond there. Maybe it's just bushes. Oh, no, there's something there. It's either that or it's either bushes or it's a building. It looks geometric enough to be a building. Let me look around the other side. There's got to be a way in. No. Where's my flashlight? Oh. No, it's just a wall of leaves, darn. I was hoping we'd uncover something. But alas, not tonight. Can't imagine that's real. Nope. Climb over the bushes to get out, or... Oh, there's a little... Oh, no. We can climb over it. Come on. Oh. Well, now I have to see it from the beginning. This is a little trail. Which, first officer, is this building openable? No. That looks like it is. You can go back here. See, I love night walks. I love them in areas that I, for the most part, know are safe. This would be like an ideal date for me. Just to have a little hideaway like this. Just a little canopied trail to a bench under a warm light. Just a place to talk. Conveniently placed board. Big liquor. Well, I'm not much of a drinking man, but guess we'll go in. This is kind of an odd arrangement. You could fit so many more chairs. Buy your cigarettes, the AC unit that will probably turn this room into a freezer if you leave it on too long. I do like the warm lighting though. This would be a cozy place to have a sandwich. Oh my gosh. Chill out, man. Oh, and there's another. Oh. There's no signage. But obviously it's a salon I can't get into. Federal minimum wage. Yeah, not anymore. They got a whole darn TV in there. Oh, man. Sneak in there and play Mario Kart on N64? This is just missing its handle. Oh, a playground. And we can't forget the CVS. Oh, talk about eerie. Not very well maintained. We used to have a slide just like this at my elementary school. You know, the metal kind where if you wanted to have fun, you had to be tough because you were going to get third-degree burns on the way down the slide in the summer. I've grown up in the neighborhood across from my old elementary school, and the building has switched hands to a couple different types of schools over the years, and they always change the playground so it looks nothing like it did, 20 years ago. But it's kind of a testament to how we are time capsules of the world. We try and encapsulate events in history through pictures. Meanwhile, we ourselves are the world's time capsules. We keep moments of time in this world alive through our own memories. So the only thing that's triggering a red flag for me on this CVS is there's no red box. And I was kind of hoping to be able to rent Puss in Boots tonight. Kind of a shame. Is this a gas station? Yeah. It's a 7-Eleven. Our channel's favorite. swear, the amount of 7-Eleven inspired maps I've done. Ooh, and it's fully stocked. Let me in. This is honestly kind of cool. Because it's like if no one's awake and they never wake up, well, there's plenty of food. At least enough for a while. I always wonder who the guy... Oh. Oh, I like this. I always wonder who makes these models and who makes the different Greek, you know, the Greekings, I'll call it, in the movie industry. I've mentioned before on the channel, if you have to change a logo so as not to get some kind of copyright strike, you call it Greeking, where you change the logo enough to where it still implies the original brand, but it's not the logo itself, and so you can't be sued. This is a good example. Alpine Hue, that's obviously Mountain Dew. Cola Bola, I know that's Coca-Cola. But I wonder who does all of that. And is it the original map maker? Are these things that he gets online? I've always been curious about that because I love that. I love creating something that feels just parallel to our own timeline. That is a big calendar. Still 2:12 a.m. You can get your moldy gas station baguettes as well. Is that a door back there? Oh, elevator. Most certainly doesn't work. Wouldn't be a good 7-Eleven if it didn't have an elevator, right? So that's the back of the strip mall. Looks like, yeah. And did we check this building out? This looks open. At this point now, oh, there's a diner. Did we go to that? I don't remember if we went there. We'll have to check it out. I'm at this point in the game where I don't know what's background noise and what's just stuff I'm hearing from outside my apartment with my noisy neighbors. For some reason, 8 to 9 p.m. going until about 11 p.m. is like prime time to test your engine. And it's always the same guy, too. And I've always checked to see if maybe he's, I don't know, getting ready to go to work, if he has a night shift, or what. But I've looked out the window and he just kind of sits there in his car and revs his engine. Almost as if he's forgotten what it sounds like, so he has to go back out and check. More people losing their flashlights. Maybe those are the teenagers who have been abducted during their night searches. Oh, we should get out of here. Oh, come on. Oh. Come on. Oh, come on. Jumping in this game is ridiculous, y'all. Can I sneak through here? No. Come on. Come on. Let me over. Yeah. Oh, come on. Just let me over, please. Come on over, legs. Oh, gosh. So, what's happening? So my legs are... Oh, gosh. Oh gosh. Okay. So, we'll just go around then. Or I'll jump on this car. Parkour. Okay. Maybe this isn't the best idea. I'll just go around. I'll let myself around. Oh. Oh, worth it. Worth it. Another open building. What is this, though? Maybe a school? Oh, this is... Excuse me. This is cozy. Just needs a little bell. Ding. Is this like a hotel? An old school outfitted to be an inn? Any of these doors function? That one looks like it does. It has a threshold. Yep. Oh, goodness me. Alright. This one is probably going to work. Yeah. What a cozy room. Odd swing to the door, but... Oh, but that view. To look down a dark street. To be the one standing over there and see someone standing in the window. I don't know what would be worse, being the monster or the one the monster's looking at. The hunter or the hunted. Come on, you could have done something more with that space. Vending machines, ice machine. And none of these work, I can tell. I do want to look out the window. They do need to clean their glass. It's kind of gross. Not gonna lie. Oh, they held the door for us. Also, this isn't to code. This shouldn't immediately open up onto the stairs. There should be a threshold, a platform, a landing. And technically this should probably come around, but, you know, not that anyone cares. This town was built a long time ago, I can tell. Fake door in the back, I'm most certainly sure. Yep. I wouldn't mind working here. This would be the kind of place I'd look for a job if I were new in town and we're going to be stuck here for a little while. Ooh, and there's a conveniently placed payphone. In the year of our Lord 2029. See, there's still so much more. And a stoplight. Finally, these must have just been put in. These are brand new. Oh, but that's strange. They're like European stoplight. I mean, obviously they're designed after an American stoplight, but what I've noticed is in Europe, stoplights are on your side of the street. They are over the stop line. So when you're driving and you need to see when the light's going to change, you sometimes have to stick your head over the dashboard to see up through the windshield, because sometimes they're either right on top of you or they're on the side. Whereas, of course, in America, our stoplights are on the opposite side so as to give plenty of visibility. That's interesting. I do like the usage of different types of lights on this map. I've really appreciated that because it makes it feel more alive. There's an ambulance blocking the way. Can actually crawl inside of it. I guess I'll let myself in. This is quite spacious. They have a dog. Or a really big cat. Or perhaps a teenager that doesn't listen. That's a big pizza box. Where can I get that pizza? Where did that come from? I'm hungry. Bedroom in the... Oh, man. Oh, I'd hate to walk in on that. The map maker's dog, I presume. Seeing as that's kind of the thing, is you put pictures of your pets in your maps. I can appreciate it. I know if I made a map, I'd put a picture of my wiener dog in there. Immortalize her. But if I made a map, I just don't know that it'd be the same. When I play other people's maps, it's like I get to take a step into their lives, experience something from their point of view. But my life is mundane, and anything that I created wouldn't feel new. That was one of the things I loved about nighttime exploration, is it felt new. You always see towns and trails during the day. Very rarely do you actually get to see them at night. So it feels alien almost. It's honestly quite beautiful at night. Wind is really strong too. Oh, that wall is a perfect canvas. This feels like a very middle America town. Like if you just pulled off the highway while driving down the center of the US and you drove a couple miles, you'd find this town. Only 25 on these neighborhood roads. It's probably good. Don't need more than that. So it looks like we've seen just about everything. I mean, it's not a huge map. course, there's always the chance of surprises that we've missed. Little townhomes here. Condominiums. Someone's in bed sleeping. Wake up. Wake up. Yeah, I sleep... My bed in my apartment... There are 2 bedrooms in my apartment. I use one as a studio and an office. And the room that I chose is the smaller of the 2 bedrooms. And it looks out onto the main parking lot, so it can get pretty noisy at night. But I always have brown noise or some type of ambient music or even ASMR going, and so I am able to kind of listen around it. But it's best that I use my bigger space for, well, for VR or for music or anything else that I might be working on that I need the space for. I guess we'll start walking back. That's kind of poor placement, not gonna lie. I didn't see what this store was, these 2 over here were. Walk on the wild side. These 2 figures right here, I see that on so many things, and I have no clue what that means. Anyone in the comments that sees that and knows what that is? Care to shed some light on that? And beef boy stew. I haven't seen a pizza place yet. So someone is getting pizza and bringing it from out of town. Making me mad. But maybe we'll find a pizza place on another map at some point. And I really enjoyed this one, though. This was super peaceful, and it resurrected some feelings that I haven't had in a very long time. It makes me miss exploring at night. Makes me want to do it more. And hopefully at some point, I'll be able to get around my new town and see what there is to see. And I hope to find more maps like this, and we'll have to look more at the maps that this map maker, that this modder has uploaded to mod.io, because I love this. I love the vibe that this has. I love the feeling of it. There's a serenity and excuse me. Wow. This is probably why I shouldn't be doing these map walkthroughs at night. It gets me tired, especially on a nighttime map. But I love the serenity and the mundane, haunted nature of these maps. They feel like a little world of their own. And so, hopefully the map maker has, or the map porter, has more to offer of this caliber. And if you know of a map that you'd like to recommend I take a look at, or if there's something that I've missed in this map, you can give me all that information in the comment section below. If you'd like to play this map originally on Gary's mod, I'll put a link for that in the description. If you want to check it out for Bonelab, I'll put a link to that in the description. And if you want to support me, I'll have a link for that down below as well. So please don't be shy to share this video with your friends. I'd appreciate a subscribe and a like. It tells me that you're watching my videos. And if you have any recommendations, you can let me know in the comments. And until the next video, y'all take care.